Hello, everyone. Welcome you all on the first part of three for the business implementation for MYOVER40. I hope you can see all my presentation as well. And I'm going to share it with you right now. There you go. So let's start from the beginning. And I'm going to tell you what we're going to do today and who am I. So we are starting the first part from 3 of the MYOVER40 introduction startup of the business. This part is introduction to those of the instructors which just starting their journey, or they want to start their journey and not doing something for their clubs, but something for themselves. So opening, for example, their own studio, renting the studio. So this part will be also a reminder for all of the managers of the leisure centers and the fitness clubs, or all of the personal trainers, of what does it mean to start the business by themselves, and what that is involved, and what kind of tools we need to use to keep our customers with us as well. And as I said, my name is Margo. The nickname is Margo in Ireland. However, my full name is Małgorzata. So I'm going to introduce myself today. So I am a business implementation manager for MYOVER40 for a brief 1.5 years. However, I am front of house manager also of the Coral Leisure in Cove for over. I'm working over there for over in the same building for over 12 years. I am also a lecturer for Rock Fitness School in Ireland for 10 years. And my students probably watching this video right now as well. So hi guys. In the same time, I am in this industry for over 24 years from 1997. So I hope my experience today will be very handy to introduce for those which are starting just their journey, and for those which are already in this project, which is a fitness family. If you are already involved in fitness, I hope that we're gonna introduce you a little bit more and just remind you a little bit of stuff which we as instructors forgetting very often. So what we're gonna do today? Today I'm gonna start from the introducing you to who we are as a MYOVER40 and what we do, and also I will gonna try to explain briefly of what is involved in a program and for who this program will be directed, because the name of the MYOVER40 is very often kind of mistaken by the customers and by the people, and they only think that this program is only for the people for MYOVER40 for over 40 years old. The program is slightly deeper, and it's for way bigger range of the customers and the viewers, and also for the big range of the instructors and fitness leisure centers, and also people which actually wants to invest in a fitness and want to do something like a franchise. We're gonna have that part in a next few weeks as well. So the first part is this one. The second one will be direct much more to those which are opening their own business, or for example they want to go to upgrade their clubs, their leisure centers, and they want to involve a little bit bigger range of the customers in the centers. It also will be a good startup for those people which wants to have a franchise in the future. And the third part of this program, the startup business introduction and startup of the business, will be directly for those of you. So with all of those informations, at the end I will gonna introduce what do we offer to the customers and to the instructors especially, and also what MYOVER40 can do for your club, and why it will be valuable to watch the second part of this introduction of the startup. So as you can see, there is two of my pictures over there, and because I will be introducing the first part and the second part also based on also my experience, I hope that will be very, very handy for you. So we all know what customers knows wants, or at least we presume we do have that knowledge already if we are working in this industry. However, those which are starting up the business, the most important part is to understand that the quality of the product and reliability of us as a company or us as a one person company, and also what we present and what we can offer is very important. However, very often people are forgetting that we also supposed to offer in this industry a support for those customers and for those people which are not don't know exactly what they want in their life, and they don't know exactly why they are in a fitness center or fitness club, because plenty of those people are showing up only with a letter from the, for example, GP, and they do have an instruction that they need to go to do something about the movement, but they don't know that much about their own body. They have no idea that much about what this industry can offer. And that's why we need to give them a support from the start until the end of their journey. And hopefully the end of their journey is never happening. So if they will gonna show up into your center or into you as a PT or into you as an instructor, hopefully the journey will never end until you will gonna go out from the center. So that will be a life-changing moment for those customers. We also need to remember that the performance is very important of not only the customers, because they're learning in a different way, but we also need to offer the performance for from our side. So we need to perform as instructors and as fitness centers correctly, and we need to give a correct product to correct people. We need to also remember that the experience of our customers is very important, and this part as an experience will be a big part of the second presentation as well. And a satisfaction is basically the results of it. If we do have those qualities, if we do have those points, we will gonna have a customers coming in to our doors and not going out for a very long time. So this business and marketing program and this MYOVER40 startup business is direct to not only the students which in the future will gonna become, for example, PTs or the instructor of the fitness, but also for the instructors which already are working for somebody. They're already working for themselves. They do have a clubs, they renting the studio, they renting community centers. It's also direct to clubs and leisure centers and the gyms which are existing, because this program is not only for the studio, but it's also for the personal training. And as we know on the gym, that's exactly how the industry is making a lot of money as well, do the personal training. It's also direct to the managers of the centers and the clients, because clients, if you will gonna see this, you can confirm that this part is very important from your point of view. It's your expectations supposed to be fulfilled, and this way we as an industry fulfilling our purpose. So I hope you are a little bit interested of this program. So why and how the program MYOVER40 was created? We do have a massive mission and a vision. However, they are connected to one very important point. We are getting older. Yes, this is absolutely something which will gonna happen to every single one of us. And the question is how we're gonna live our lives. What quality of the life we're gonna have. So that's why our mission is to remind the people that we as a younger people thinking that we are unbreakable. And when we're getting older, our brain is still working the same way. And we still think that we basically just getting a little bit more experience, but we are not breaking down. We are basically will be living forever. But our body not quite they disagree with us completely. So our body can fade away and can get older itself. The question is how the body will gonna get older. Because if we think we are unbreakable and we're doing everything to explore our body and we're doing everything to expose our body for sun, for the movement, for heavy work, we will gonna feel the consequences of that movement and that behavior in the future. And we want to make sure that the future generation, which will be us on some stage as well, will gonna have a way better quality of life. So if you don't know that, our bodies, by the structure, by the bones, by the muscles, and also our brain is prepared to live for a very long time, over 150 years. It's not happening that often, unfortunately. And we know that our muscles, for example, are fading away and they are getting older and they are getting weaker, including our bones. Some of us are dying for different reasons about the sicknesses. So we know that even if body is prepared for that, we're not going to be living this 150 years. But the question is, why not? Why we cannot live that long? Because majority of us are not taking care of our body, of the body, for the correct way. We are forgetting about the mobilization of our body. We're forgetting about strength of our body, and we're forgetting that when we explore something, we need to also give something back. So, for example, relax our body and brain as well. And if we're gonna be doing that, we will gonna extend the quality of our life. So our mission is for the people to understand that small difference and that small part of our reality of the day to day. So what is our vision? Our vision is to give instructors and clubs and you a very simple program, very simple access to the program and to a knowledge of the massive group of the people that you can use this knowledge and you can use that to avoid something which is absolutely normal, which is getting old, but avoid avoid to do that the way that we will not gonna feel correct in our body. We need to extend our movement, so we will gonna have as a fitness industry customers for a little bit longer, and the customers will gonna not only be the 20 years old in our centers or 30 or 40 years old, which are very conscious of what they can do and why they're supposed to do the workouts and why they're supposed to keep a quality of their life. But we will extend also to those customers. The centers will be open for those customers which are 80, 90 or 70 years old or even older, because they will gonna feel over there much more comfortable. They will not gonna feel ashamed and they will not gonna feel that they cannot do something. This program is for those of you which have already a family members which are struggling about the movements. This program is also for you if you have some movements which you want to progress on. For example, run. I'm myself running 10K minimum 1 time weekly, and if I want to progress, I can do that, but sometimes our body is stopping us from doing this. If we're gonna keep our body in a correct mobility, we're not gonna have that many injuries, we're not gonna have that many problems with our body, and in the same time, we will gonna live with an active life for much more longer. So if we will gonna give you a correct tool to be used by you, by all of the information you need to provide correct service to the customers and to your family members, to your pupils as well, that means we fulfilled our mission and our vision as well. So how did that happen? It happened from the Big Bang, and that happened with the accident of one person. This person was told that she was not gonna probably gonna walk any more after this accident, which happens to her. And unfortunately, the doctors was giving her small chances. But she was a fitness instructor, and she started to do the research all over the world and asking questions about what she can do to improve the mobility and to walk again. And it happens. And this person is writing the book right now and it's just going out on air in Poland. But the most important part is this program happened based on that person's life, and this person was able to get together In Ireland, it was at the start about 5 people. In Poland, it was already around 30. In Spain, it was already about another bunch of, I think, 12 or, people, and this number is growing. And we also have a Finland. So even if this program started from Ireland, it's spread already into 4 countries. And the number of the people which are working on this program is amazing, because right now we have over 40 people working on a daily basis on this program to upgrade it and to update it. So it's not only one brain, it's many of them. And guess who it was? It was at the start the physiotherapist. However, this number a little bit spread out, and this number a little bit increased, because we also include into people into this group people which are instructors, which are personal trainers, physiotherapists, also, as I said before, and also doctors. So bunch of the people are working on this program to make this as accessible as possible and to combine their knowledge into one simple thing to use. So who is this program for? As you can see on the pictures on this presentation, I mentioned already the elderly. I mentioned already people which want to have a progression in their workouts. But I also mentioned some other type of the customers. So the customers which are showing up into your center are usually a very young, up till 40, 45. This is the average number. And either they are 20 years old, 18 years old, or from 25 up till 45. This is the average number for the leisure center at this moment in Ireland. So we do have this program, even with the name is MYOVER40, for absolutely everybody. Because there is plenty of us instructors, including myself, which is using already the exercises from this program, or the program itself and the classes itself, working with teams. For example, soccer team, rugby team, they are 16 and above years old. And we are using those exercises and those programs to work with them to avoid any type of injuries during the games, and to improve their strength, to improve their mobility and flexibility, so they can, for example, run faster as well. So this range of the people is growing. So it's from young people up to the middle age until even 80, 90 or 100 years old. So it's absolutely for everybody. It doesn't matter when this person was going to start with us, but if you were going to start, you didn't want to end up at all. You want to continue, and that's the beauty of it. So if we have our customers with us and we need to have a correct relationship with them, we all know that, because if we do have a correct relationship with the customers, that means they want to stay with us and they want to work with us. But what do we need to sacrifice? The first thing which we need to sacrifice and we need to work with, the first tool will be a time, because it is from us as instructors and the leisure centers a little bit of the sacrifice about the time frame. We need to set up the correct time frame with the customers, but in the same time, it's very rewarding, because if we're gonna give customers a little bit of extra time before and after the classes, if we're going to spend some time to find out what upsets the customers, what they enjoy, what part of their life they enjoy the most, or what's happening in their life right now, that means we're going to have our feedback way more often, and we're going to have our feedback from the classes and from what we're doing way more accurate. So time which we're spending before and after classes supposed to be the time to chit chat with the customers and start to find out about what bothers them, what pain they have, what they didn't like on our classes and what they did like on our classes. This is the time also to find out about their private life. The time which we are spending on the social media, and it doesn't matter who you are a future instructor, future PT, or for example, a manager of the center. you should know that already, that the social media playing a very big part of our fitness industry, and not only the fitness industry. We need to spend some of the time on social media so the customers will know what we do, what we can offer, and how we do work. So if you're spending some time on social media, same amount of time, it's not even bigger, you're supposed to spend also on the website and to educate yourself. Because if you were gonna create the website easy enough by the customers to use, that means they will gonna have an easy access to you. But the education about how their social media are working, how the websites are working, is also important, because then you can upgrade it and follow the news that's showing up in this industry about the social media and about internet altogether. So you can use that tools much more easier. The another time you're spending and you're sacrificing your own time is to educate yourself. So right now, thank you so much for being with me, because you already gave me a 1 hour of your precious time to show you a little bit about my over 40. But if you know that the education is important, you know already that it cannot be on some kind of steady point. We cannot close ourselves in some box. We need to educate ourselves on a regular basis, on the workshops, on the courses, for the simple reason that the knowledge in our industry is also going very, very fast. And if everything is going very fast, if everything is going upgrading itself, that means we need to follow that rules, and we need to have also the upgrades for our customers, so we will be on top about the information. And that's exactly what my over 40 is doing, because we're working constantly for the last few years on this program. That means we're upgrading already the way how we provide you the information and the exercise, or for example introduction to the exercise, or how we provide you with that knowledge of why you're supposed to do that with the customers on a daily basis. We upgrading this constantly. What do we recommend for the customers? We do recommend that the customers will gonna provide us with 1 or 2 classes weekly. And I'm saying provide because if they will not gonna give us that time, that means they will not gonna have the results, and they need to be aware of that. So it's not only you giving your time, but also customers giving you a 2 or 3 hours of their time on a weekly basis. This way you are guaranteed of the progress. So what's the next important part? Is the way how we communicate with the customers. But the most part, a bigger part about the communication is not while we're talking, but when we listening, because very often we're hearing somebody's talking, but we are not listening exactly what they're saying to us, or opposite way. We are here listening what they're saying, but we are not hearing the details of that. So the most important questions, what's new or how are you, completely with a different level in the fitness industry. They're supposed to be questions which supposed to provide you with some feedback. And if you were gonna give the time to the customers to allow to answer that question slightly with a bigger answer than yeah, I'm fine, that means they will gonna give you the information which probably in the future, like was in my case, for example, we're gonna give you a plenty of difference for life. What you're supposed to listen about and what you're supposed to hear. You're supposed to hear the problems. You're supposed to be aware of that everybody have a different mentality, different lifestyle, and different life itself. You're supposed to hear that your customer, for example, give you the information about their nephew being sick or their dog being on the bed for some reason. That kind of information is also the information for you from the fitness point of view, because that means they may be upset But if they will gonna show up to you with the good news, the dog is fine, for example, and there is nothing there. Or, for example, my nephew passed some exams. That means they are in a good mood. They will gonna absorb the exercise much more better, and they will also be much more energetic on the classes. This is already a feedback which you have before and after the class. But in the same time, if they were going to provide you with that kind of information, that means they trust you. So if they trust you as an instructor, you can use that information for the future, start a chit chat, and to build up the connection with the customer. So if you do have that kind of information, you also are going to have some kind of information about the activity on a daily basis. If they said, well, the work was completely disaster today, and last week I'm just sitting in front of the computer and I'm doing this and that is already the indication of what kind of lifestyle they're doing and what kind of work they're doing. You don't need to have any more information about specific type of work, but you know they're spending a lot of time in front of the computer. It can be in front of the car. It can be that they do have, for example, a work in front of the computer, but they do also have a dog. That means they need to walk it out and walk the dog out. That means they do have some work and they do have some basic activities. Every single information is valuable, because if you will not gonna have that information, you will not gonna provide the customers with the correct exercise. They may suffer, for example, from the pain on a hip, but if you know they're running, if you know they're walking, that could be the reason why they don't have that problem. If they, for example, doing the walk or run incorrectly, they need to be checked about the pelvis, they need to be checked about the position, about the knee, or about their feet. And you can adapt this and you can provide them with a correct exercise, which will gonna correct that kind of problems. Communication skills. We did talk a little bit about time and listening, but a communication skills is also both ways. So what I was talking about, asking the question, how are you and what's new with you? I'm also asking you to start to use the leading questions. If the customer told you, like my customer recently told me, look, I was running 10K and everything was fine, but next day I started to have a massive pain in my knee. I couldn't stand up and go out from my bed without this pain, and I had no idea what to do. For me, that was the indication that I need to provide him with some exercise to release and relax the glutes, because that's majority of the pain of the knees showing up. And I know this person had no problem with the knee itself, so probably the glutes was too tight. But what happened next week when I met with him, the first leading question which I asked was, how was your knee? Or during the week, I also gave him the indication, let me know how is your knee. Is it better? Are you doing this exercise? So during the week, I sent him a text messages about that. But after the 1 week, I asked him, is it clear now, or do you still feel pain? For me, that was a leading question, and that kind of question we're supposed to start to ask them, ask the customers. How was your nephew? How was your knee? How was your work? You had a tough week last week. Is this week better? This way, the communication is much more clear, and that's exactly where we're going for the next point. Clear communication itself. So, right question, we're gonna give you the right answer. And be very careful about that, because if you will gonna not ask the right question, you may end up with spending too much time with that customer as well, and finding out things which it's not necessary for you whatsoever. So because we hope you will gonna work in the future with MYOVER40, not with 1, 2, or 10 or 12 of the personal training, or for example, people on your class or people on the class in your center. But we hope this program will gonna bring you hundreds of the people. You're gonna have to be very careful about who you're working with and how you're dividing your time. So clear information and clear communication is very important. But clear communication is also communication towards the customer. So if you were gonna give the customer a direct information, we meeting let's say 4 o'clock on Monday. And if the customer will not gonna show up 4 o'clock but 4:15, the question is what you're doing then. Are you extending the class by 15 minutes or you finishing exactly on time? So if you did not clarify that at the start, the class is starting or exactly at 4 o'clock and it's finishing, let's say 4:45. However, if you will not going to show up on time, unfortunately, I do have another customers to attend to. That means I need to finish the 4:45. If you will not going to show up at all, that means the class will going to be canceled, but it's not on my part because I will be there waiting for you. So the person which is losing money at this point will be the customer. So that kind of clear information and clear communication is avoiding any problems in the future. Inclusive language. The inclusive language is the language which will not gonna exclude any type of group, because don't forget, we will now gonna also only have different groups on our class about the age. We're not gonna have about, for example, the way how they learning, the abilities of learning or flexibility, but we will also have a cultural difference on our classes, and we need to take them on board as well. We're going to have a gender differences as well, but don't forget, no matter the gender, no matter the environment, or no matter the culture, it's also very important, like I mentioned, to take on board that every customer may learn or may progress different way. So if we are progressing different way, that means one of the customer in your class, we're going to progress really quickly, and a second one, we're going to need extra help, extra, for example, equipment, which is right now behind me, to help them out to get to that level slightly quicker, or you're leaving them off because the time which they are progressing is fine for them, and it's also okay to do that with their own time frame. Benefits. Don't forget that the communication skills, it's also giving the customers a benefits of what they're doing, why they're working on. I always say to all of my students and all of my colleagues and managers, that the best customer ever is the most educated customer. So if you will gonna educate the customer and inform them why they doing this exercise for me, why they doing this exercise for the glutes, like I told you about my customer, which had a problem after running 10 kilometers with his knee. I gave him and I provide him with the exercises for his glutes, but I did explain how to do it, and I did explain also why they're doing that. What is the reason why we are not touching the knee, but we are touching the glutes itself. So after that, he knew exactly, look, I had a pain in my knee, but I knew what to do. They educating themselves, that means you are gonna be pushed forward, and they will gonna start to see the benefits of it. Not only given by you by words, you will gonna feel better on your knee when you're gonna do that exercise, but they will gonna also feel that benefit themselves, and they will gonna spread that news all over. Care. Remember, I told you about the customer with a knee. So what I did during the week, I did care about him and I did give him exercise straight away. However, during the week, I did provide him with a bunch of the text messages asking him, are you doing it? Do you remember to drink water? Did you remember to take those vitamins? Do you remember to do those exercise on the glutes, which I ask you to do? Is it better? So this way, we do show the customers that we do care about them. But what will gonna happen if the customer, for example, have a break? If the customer will not gonna be showing up to our class for about 4 months, what do? Majority of the leisure centers and the fitness clubs are not sending the text or not sending the email or not calling to those customers, and that's a mistake. Unfortunately, that's our mistake on the fitness industry. We don't do that. We're supposed to do that. So we will gonna have a contact with the customer. Look, you don't have a time right now. You are busy with your work right now, but I am here, and if you are gonna need me, you know you can always come back. I'm keeping a space for you. This is also showing a care about the customer service. Achievement. If the customers were gonna achieve something on your classes, if they were gonna be able to do more and more, and you will gonna see that, and the customers will see that, applaud them on that. This is very important for the customers, and it is so important for you, because the most rewarding for the instructors, I believe, it's not only the money, but it's also the reward from the customers that they did something and somebody's out of pain, somebody is moving faster, walking faster, and they have a much more better mobility on their joints, and they are happy with the service. Type of the languages which we are using, because there is two of them. It's not only the verbal, it's also unverbal language. So your face and your mimics and also your hands, everything can tell the customers that are you listening or not. If you don't have a direct contact with them, they will gonna know that you just listening, but you are not hearing to them. Hearing what they're saying at all, or they will gonna have that kind of impression, even if you're trying your best to spread your conscious and to do a few things in the same time. We can't do few things in the same time. We just our brain is working between one section and another, and it's switching between those sections with a very fast way, but we still cannot do few things in the same time. So if you are communicating with your customers, if you are talking to them, it doesn't matter, it's on the reception or it's on the class or it's after the class or it's on the one-to-one, don't forget to use both of the languages, verbal and unverbal. And show the respect, because we have to be respectful towards customers' beliefs, towards customers' age, towards customers' response, and also, as I said before, towards customer progression. So they will gonna be treated respectfully. This way, we will gonna extend the range of the people showing up into our centers and into our classes by big number of over 40 people. And that's the moment when you probably start to realize why the name is so clever done on the MYOVER40. When we start to care about slightly different things for the future for us. Motivation. The motivation is absolutely obvious. If you do have a 20 or 100 people on your class, and I did have that in my past, I do have now about 20 people on my classes, but I did have a 150 people on a class on a convention when I was doing that on my younger age. But to motivate those 150 people was the toughest challenge in my life. And I said to myself, it's too much. I prefer smaller group. But that was my decision. But it doesn't matter, it's one person or it's 150. You're still supposed to be able to motivate them to do the exercise. So what type of motivation we do have? The external motivation with the customer is showing up to you and they have a letter from their GP and they say, look, I have to work, for example, with my hips because the doctor told me to. It's not their motivation, it's the doctor told them to do something. The internal motivation will be different. Will be when the customer is showing you up to you and they saying, I do have a problem with my hip, I start to be in pain. I think in your center will be maybe somebody who can help me, maybe some physiotherapist, maybe some instructor. I don't know what to do with the pain. Help me out. That is internal motivation for the customer. But there is also a positive and a negative motivation, which is coming out very often from the instructors. So the positive motivation will be when we saying, look, if you do have a problem with that hip, I can help you. I will gonna see what I can do for you. I can't promise you that it will be out of pain in 2 weeks, but I can promise you I will gonna learn your body in few weeks and I will gonna establish the plan with you, and maybe we'll be able to get that pain away, to go away in a longer period of time. But I can do that for you and I can work with you. But a negative motivation will be when the customer is showing up and you're saying, look, I don't know this problem and well, I need to work with you, but the doctor didn't give me too many information of what exactly is the problem. Or even worse, when a customer is showing up and they said, I didn't do the homework which you provided me, I didn't have a time for that. And the instructor, and I heard that unfortunately in the past, and the instructor is telling to the customer, look, if you didn't do the workout which I gave you during the week, that means I need to do backwards, and I need to basically do exactly the same workout with you today. I can't progress with you. That's unresponsible, so it's your fault. This is absolutely unacceptable in a fitness industry. That means this person was not on the right place, because fitness industry is full of the people, or supposed to be full of the people, which treat this business as exactly the same like doctors treat their work, or the teachers treat their work. You need to have something more than only the craft for that. You also need to provide the customers with a belief in what you do. That's why the negative motivation, unfortunately, is still happening, and it's not supposed to happen. Report goals and planning. And this is the part when all what we was talking so far is supposed to start to kind of go into the places. Because how to have 20 people on your class, spend 15 minutes before and after the class to talk to them, to ask a leading question, and in the same time to ask those leading questions next week correctly to correct people. Make the notes. Yeah, the simple piece of paper and a pen at the start is enough. On the second part of this startup of the business, I will be talking much more of the different tools which you can use as well. But basic is always the most common, which is pen and a paper. So start to set up the plan with the customer, what they want to do and what you know you need to do with the customer, because sometimes those two things are not the same. Sometimes customer wants one, you know they're supposed to do this before they were on a day goal, and they need to meet together. So you need to set up the plan with customers, sit down with them and write them down. You also need to monitor the progression of the customers, and also monitor your plan. So you're not going to repeat the exercise, or if you will going to repeat the exercise, you know why you're doing this. You need to build up the data on your customers, so you're going to find out much more, because as you are going to see on the next presentation, and I'm going to tell you about that even more, majority of the customers are not sharing all knowledge about their body or specific stuff about their body that often on the first 1 or 2 or 3 weeks. Very often you're finding out about some sicknesses or some kind of problems they had in the past after a few months of working with the customers. And that is very important to monitor and to build up the data. So you're not going to miss anything, and you're going to ask the right question on the right moment or as fast as you can to have a full information about your customer body. To upgrade your programs, you also need that data, because you need to have a plan for the future, and the plan needs to go with the structure. So if you are not going to have a progression on your exercise, that means the plan will not going to be fulfilled. That's kind of obvious, am I right? On hold care. Do you remember when I told you about the customers which are put on hold? They wasn't showing up for 6 months or for 4 months to your center, or they wasn't showing up to your class, and they kind of forgot that, okay, if they were going to want, they were going to show up. That's not the care that the fitness industry is supposed to provide. We're supposed to provide on hold care. So keep in contact with the customer at all times. Do the video even on a Facebook to let them know, look, the classes are not showing up right now. I can't do the classes because let's say I'm sick, but we will gonna be back to it very, very fast. I will gonna send you a text message straight away to all of my customers with the information, with the date and the time. That kind of on-hold care is providing customers with a clarity of what's going on in your life, what's going on with the classes, and also it's building up the long-term relationship with your customer. Safety. As I'm working as a front of house manager in a leisure center in Cove, I am also a lifeguard. And this is very important part for me because it's very often very forgotten by the instructors and is very often very forgotten by the managers of the centers. The first aid need to be there. Every single of you, instructors and managers, supposed to be provided and supposed to be doing the first aid course. We need to know how to save people if they are in stress. We need to know what to do if they were gonna break the arm, break their leg, or if they were gonna faint out, or if they were gonna feel dizzy. There's very easy to also miss out the most important part for the customer itself. If they have inhaler, if they need EpiPen, they need to provide you with that kind of information, and the reports and the planning and the goals are also for that. So each of the customers supposed to fill out the questionnaire, the health questionnaire. If they were going to do that, they need to provide you with that information, and you need to ask those people every time, do you have your inhaler with you on the class? Where is it? So I can provide you with it if you were going to be in distress. The risk assessment is not only about the customer, but it's also about your workplace. So is the mats actually spread between so the customers can comfortably do the exercise? Is the place is safe, it's clean, and is the equipment which can fall on somebody actually far away or far away enough not to cause any problems in the future? The environment is very important for them to work, but you also need to feel comfortable in that environment. So if you do have a problem on your class with somebody, do have somebody outside of the classroom which can help you with the first aid kit or with the first aid information and a course done as well. Select the exercise, because not one exercise will be for everybody. That's why in program of the MYOVER40, you're going to see that let's say one movement or one exercise for one type of the mobilization or fascia workout is provided by 2 or 3 different people, and they're doing minimum 2 different type of workouts, easier, a little bit tougher, and the most harder position. So you can provide the customers with correct equipment, yeah, to make the exercise easier, or you can provide the exercise itself on a different 2 or 3 levels, so the customers will gonna feel comfortable. Scale. This is something which I'm using very often. If I'm asking my customer about how is your knee, he is usually giving me a number. What's 7? Now is 1. And I'm using the numbers between 0 and 10. So 0 is no pain whatsoever, no problem whatsoever. 10, unbearable. 7, I can't move. So if they were gonna provide me with a number, and I'm hearing on my class 20 people shouting different numbers, if I will gonna hear even one person, or if somebody will gonna tell me I'm on 7, I will gonna ask them very often to leave the room and to leave the class. Because if they are on that much pain, that means they're not supposed to do, for example, the class which I'm providing. Let's say it's step class. But if they are on level 7 on my over 40 class, I can give them some exercise to ease the pain out, and to work with those customers on a different completely level, even if the rest of the class is doing something completely different. It's individual work on the group as well. And this is very important to use anything, like for example, we are asking and we are providing you with the information. Scale is working. Any technique is good to get a right and a quick response. Respect the space. Don't forget, because I am also a person which is a first responder for suicide awareness. You need to be aware that a touching customer needs to be only when the customer is giving you permission. So if you want to correct somebody, you may work with a person which have a completely different view on any type of touch. Even if you're going to want to just correct the lower back or correct the position of the fingers, you always need to ask for the permission of the touching. And this is something which very often customer instructors are forgetting, even or especially on a group classes. Feedback. If you're talking with your customers after the class, you're going to get your feedback. They also talking to each other, don't forget. So if you do have a one-to-one even sessions, you always can send them a form to fill out about the feedback, or one time per month. And you can work on that as well. So it don't need to be on face, it can also be written. And this is a very important tool to use, especially to upgrade your club, upgrade your leisure, upgrade your classes, or upgrade your service. If you're doing all what we was talking about for the last about 40 minutes, there you go. You're bonding just like that. Because no matter who you are, and are you starting the classes, you're starting your journey on a PT, you do have a classes in your center, or you're renting the studio from them, or you are owner of the club or manager of the leisure center, you know if your staff is doing all of those points, giving the customers time, listening, connecting, giving correct customer service, and also providing customers with correct motivation, and using right language as well, and also communicate with the customers in a clear way, they bonding with the customers, and the customers will be showing up only because the staff is fantastic over there. It won't matter anymore after they will be out of pain, and when they will be happy with their movements, and when they will be happy with their body. It won't matter anymore that they can do those exercises, because they remember them all by themselves at home. They will be showing up into your center regardless how educated they are. But a customer in the investment is divided by a few things. It's not only about the money they're providing you with, they're giving you in your center. It doesn't matter how long the customer is in your center, they always will be paying for your services. Yeah. However, if they investing in you, they showing you that different way. They showing you that by showing up on your classes, by giving you your precious time, as you give me your precious hour to be on your class. They also are going to provide you with a personal information about their life. So the barrier between being an instructor and a customer, we're going to slightly go down, and you will going to become, or your instructors will going to become friends much more with your customers. They giving you that information because they trust you, because you are part of their family, or you are part of their day-to-day weekly routine. You are part of that. So if the customer is investing in you, they also buying an equipment. They're spending money on equipment. They're spending money on services that you're recommending, because you don't have to recommend only your classes. You can recommend also somebody else's classes. You can recommend, for example, going on the pool. You can recommend your colleague classes as well, because your customers are on that level already. But you can also recommend the equipment, like I have behind me right now, the dual ball, the blocks, the single ball, small foam roller, and for example, bands, which we are working in on MYOVER40. But if the customer is buying that equipment, that means they invest in you, his money and his trust, that they were going to use that equipment for the future. It's all investment, guys. So that's how we start into the business. But be aware of what the customers supposed to receive from us. On the next meeting, on the part number 2, I'll be talking much more from the business point of view, and also how the customer service changed so far, and what is the next level of it, and how to provide that to the customers, and use also way more different tools to do that. I will also provide you with some statistics which we did on MYOVER40 as well. But if you want to do your own business, if you want to start your doing your own classes or your own PET, that's how you're doing it. But each of us have a different expectations of what business means. For some of us, it will be our money. For some of us, it will be our satisfaction, and for some of us, it will be our recognition. The best way is when all three are going together, and the satisfaction from your work is there, the satisfaction of your customer is there, the recognition is also there, because the customers are providing their friends with the information. Look, this person is really good, this person helped me and I'm out of pain. So the recognition will be something which is giving not only you but also them a satisfaction, because they absolutely believe what they say. They recommending you with all of their hearts, but they also giving you money, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be done. All three things supposed to make your business. So you probably, if you're starting up your business and if you are just a student, you probably still have a doubt, because it sounds very, very scary. Starting your own business, oh wow, I don't have knowledge, I don't have information, I don't know how to do it, I don't have experience. Some of you may have, some of you may not. So why are you supposed to trust MYOVER40 on doing that? If you do still have a doubt and you still keep your fingers crossed as it's on the picture, you don't have to. We know how to do it. We did it already, and don't forget, we did it already in 4 countries, and it's working. If it's working, that means you can be part of it as well. And if you just want to start to work with your customers the way that we will gonna provide you with information how to do it, and we're gonna provide you all of the step by step what to do and how to bring the customers to you, will you start a business then? Will you start a business with a company which will gonna give you all data, all information, and all materials also, which will gonna give you a success as it gave already a success to many people in those 4 countries so far. And just to let you know, we are spreading to another few. So yeah, well, take a look what we can offer. We do have something which we call support group. And in this support group, you have everything what you need to not put that much time from yourself, but use the tools which we prepare for you. One and the first of them is the new trainings. So you do have every single month a new training which is already recorded, and you can go back to it as many times as you want. You can learn this training step by step, move by move, and just repeat that to your customers online or face on face or on your classes. Or you can do this training, learn those exercises and do that by part, because one of your customer may need one of those exercises, another one may need another one, and you're working on one-on-one. So all what you have to do is just every single month have access to this training and learn the new routine with a video provided to you, which you can read. You can go with this video over and over. So what do you have also with this video? You also have a knowledge. You do have information why we did this program this way. We do have information also and written down which exercises for what group of the muscles, for what joints. Is it for fascia? Is it for TP? It's for absolutely every information you need about this training. You will gonna receive also every month a new music, because every video have a different type of music, slightly the same about the genre, however it's different every time about songs. And you will gonna have a script instruction also of how to provide a correct cues to your customer or to your customers or to your instructors, to your clubs, on how to use those exercises and how to set the customer on the right position to do this exercise. You will gonna also have every single month a promotion banners, because different video, that means different banners. You will gonna have to also upgrade your website and your Facebook page or your Instagram, whatever you're using. So you will gonna have plenty of the materials, promotion materials and pictures that you can use to promote your classes. And these pictures, this is set up already by the professionals, so you don't need to worry about how they will gonna work and how visually the customers will gonna react on that. It will be yours to use every month on different level and on different pictures and different materials. But that's not the end, because support group is also about the obvious stuff, which is, for example, logo. You will be having a right to use that logo every time when you will gonna be providing classes. That means you creating a brand around you, and a brand which is existing already, and every customer can check that brand around in the internet. We will gonna also have a contact to our experts. Every single country have their own experts, and every single of you can ask the questions to those experts and much more go deeper if you want, or go directly to the instructor, ask, or for example physiotherapist, ask them direct question on one particular exercise. Why do you do this way? I heard or I saw this different way. Why is that this way? Why this course is the structure of the classes is run the way we're presenting. Also the support group will gonna provide you with the marketing and selling tools, because it's not only the pictures and the materials, but also with the courses or with the information of how to sell it and how to do the marketing on that. Don't forget, this is just the first part of it. We're gonna have 3 of them. But every time when we're gonna have a question also about the materials and about how to sell the product, you can also ask me, and you can send me an email directly so I can answer the question. Course on how to use the social media. This is very important course as well, because many of us are using a social media, but I found out on this course myself plenty of the stuff and plenty of mistakes which I was doing as well. So you also can go on that kind of course, and you can find out more about how to use the social media correctly. The individual help is for each of you. So each of us, we're going to have a different problem. Each of us have, for example, somebody at home or in our family which we definitely want to help, or the customer which have a special needs about their body, their movement, or for example some sickness or some problems with their body that you want to help them out, but your knowledge is limited. However, the group of the support is the group which is creating this program for last 2 years. That means, actually from 2018, that means this group is full of the specialists in the genre and the area. So you have a contact to them, and if I cannot help you with a question which is directed or supposed to be directed to the physiotherapist, I can pass this question to somebody who will gonna be able to answer it. So what do you need to do to be part of our family? All you have to do is finish the MYOVER40 course. Take a look on Profit Fitness School or in MYOVER40 website, where and when will be the next course, because course is just one day. Yeah, it's only one day. If you are an instructor, if you are a student, if you want to educate yourself and do this course, all you have to have is just a basic knowledge, and we're going to provide you with the information which you probably was aware they existing, but you wasn't doing them the way that we're doing on MYOVER40, because some of them are absolutely brand new in the world. And if you will gonna finish that course, you will gonna have a 1 month then to learn the one class which we're gonna give you. Sometimes maybe you're going to need more time. That's okay. But you are going to have a 1 month to learn that class and to provide us with, let's say, video, or provide us with a class and do this class on one-on-one with one of our instructors. This way we'll know that you can repeat those movements correctly and you can follow the cues which we give on a video and on a script. That means you're providing the customers with the right cues. Even if your personality is on the class, which is supposed to be, the cues supposed to be correct for the customers to follow. The free consultation after the course you do have also with our master trainer. So with this 1 month, you're not working only with the video and with the tools which he gave you, which is, for example, script, video, music, and information about the exercise. But it's also a consultation with your master trainer, which I told you before. After that, you're going to have access to us all the time and you can ask the questions constantly. Pass the exam. That's your goal. Basically, after 1 month, you can pass the exam. And after that, you can already set up your class. It doesn't matter they are online or they are on the studio. You can also start to work with one-on-one. If you're afraid, you can work with one of your family member and start this way. This is already getting experience if you are brand new in this industry of how to work with the people. And that's exactly what you need to do. After that, make sure when you're starting the classes, when you're starting your one-to-one, make sure you have the right equipment. So we offer the branch and a range of the equipment. And you can also start to make money from selling this equipment to your customers. All what you have to do is just ask us, because that's not the end of the work, Because if you're starting the classes and if you were going to start to have customers coming into you, maybe, just maybe, you're one of those people which we actually were going to ask to work with us. Maybe you are one of those which already have a lot of experience, which is already a physiotherapist, or which have already specification about working with the teenagers, working with the elderly, working with triathlonists or anybody else. Maybe you are the person which we are looking for to work with us in the future. So if you're one of those and you like the program, contact us. Maybe we're going to become one of our master trainer. We're going to tell you then what to do. But if it's not enough, take a look about what else we can do for you and for your class. That's why the next lecture will be much more direct to the managers and to the owners of the clubs or leisure centers. Because this will be much more about the business and how to improve your business by having a MYOVER40 instructors into your group. But if you don't want to do that, and if you're just interested about the program itself, and you want to invest only your money in the fitness industry because it's a really, really fast growing industry itself, maybe you will be on the lecture also number 3 after the first one and the second one, and you want to invest and you want to have a franchise. Because I'm talking right now to you in English language, and this will be provided also and to everybody all over the world. That means if you are from a country which we are not working with yet, or if you are somewhere at the end of the world, and if you want to start to work with us, you also can. So this is not the end of the story. This is just the beginning. And don't forget, guys, we are already in a few countries, in Ireland, in Poland, in Spain, and in Finland. So we are spreading. If you are watching this right now on a webinar or after or is a part of your course, check your email, because you're supposed to receive the information about what we're providing and how to contact us and what we can offer to you. So every single of you which are seeing that, contact us, we will gonna provide you with that information with that email too. All what you have to do is just write down the email to me. Any questions, myover40@gmail.com. Don't forget, my nickname is Margot, but my full name is Małgorzata Kremska-Saluda, and I can help you with your starting up the business, and I can help you also with improving your fitness center or your leisure center by having more customers doing this program online or not online. So I want to thank you guys all today for being with me for this little bit over 1 hour. And I hope I provide you with the basic information. Don't forget, it's a basic one. The level 2 will be showing up soon enough. And after that will be our level 3 as well. Thank you so much again, guys, and see you next time.